It was Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. And I was on this Facebook group yesterday and someone posted, hey, how much should I charge for an ortho consult? And he had an iTero. And I was like, huh? You're charging? That's insane. That's absurd. I'm pretty quite sure Invisalign tells you not to charge it. I mean, why are we charging? It doesn't cost you anything. You guys, are you general dentists and pediatric dentists, are your brain is in the wrong space. Ortho consults should be free. Orthodontists give them for free. I don't know any orthos that charge for them. If they do, they are bougie as heck, or they don't need patients because people are not going to come in. The point is to give information. Some people go to 5 or 10 ortho consults, and nowadays with virtual consults, synchronous, asynchronous, what's the problem? It doesn't cost you anything to do this. Yes, you do have to pay for the tip. Assuming you have an iTero and you cannot sterilize it 3Shape, you can't, but you can't use 3Shape with Invisalign. Yes, it might cost a few dollars, but you know what? Nowadays there's tip libraries and there's ways to be sustainable with the tips. There's some people that will give the patient the tip to take home. This happens quite commonly. And they tell them it's a one-time courtesy, and if they ever need another scan, there'll be a charge for the tip. You can do that if you want, and I there's nothing wrong with that because I think that's a sustainable way to not waste plastic. I know a lot of orthodontists that have tip libraries. Now, I don't have a problem with doing that with active patients. I think we throw our tips into the Invisalign boxes. That way we're saving them and not wasting tips and adding plastic to the environment. But anyways, so really, what is this costing you? If you have an iTero, you're not paying per patient. The setups are free. Same thing for ClearCorrect. If you're using 3Shape, you're not paying for the setup. So what's the problem? You should, if you're a general or pediatric dentist, you already have x-rays. So what's the problem? If you're having to refer out for a pano, well, then just hold on that. If you don't have a pano machine, I hope you do, but hold on that. Don't get that. You can get a rough idea from just the x-rays you have. I mean, obviously you're gonna need some type of x-rays. So if this person just walks in your office and they've never had any x-rays, well, then they need to go to their dentist and bring the x-rays in and get a copy of them. If they cannot get their x-rays from their dentist, well, then they probably haven't had any dental work or a cleaning done in the last year or two, and then that's a priority over the ortho consult. So when they go get their exam and cleaning with you, now you have x-rays because you're going to take an FMX anyways, because I hope you're not treating patients without a pano or an FMX in your practice. So I don't get that part of it. The CEF, I have a lot of content on that. You might not need a CEF for the case, and you know what? You can still work up the case roughly. It doesn't have to be the final setup, but it's a rough setup. I mean, Invisalign's not looking at your stuff anyways. They're definitely not looking at it. I don't care if you submit it, they're not looking at it. So they're going to ask you to interpret it. So, and again, if you want to know more about CEFs, I have a ton of content in my YouTube channel. If you go to the CEF playlist, if you can't find it, you're welcome to message me, info@straightsmilesolutions.com, and I will send it to you. It's there, but I know it's hard to find things sometimes, and I know where everything is. But yes, so I don't know what the problem is because it's not costing you anything. Yes, it's maybe taking a few moments of your time, but if you're pretty proficient at doing ortho consults, you should be able to whip that out pretty fast. Please tell me you're actually putting effort into your Clin Checks and not just doing what the texts tell you to do, because they're always junk. Never seen one that didn't need work. Junk or just impossible is the other thing they could be. Just sorry, my clinical opinion and every other orthodontist clinical opinion. We put a lot of work into our Clinchecks, making them right and predictable and healthy and safe. There's a reason why they ask you a million questions, or they have, their preferred setups or your preferences and stuff like that. You got to do things right. Each Clincheck is a custom work of art. Basically, it has to be customized to the patient. And often there's many different options. And you should show the patient option A, B, C, D, and they need to know all their risks, benefits, and alternatives might mean various options. So this is why your first 50 to 100 Clinchecks, you really need to work with an orthodontist and not someone who's employed by Align Technology. Again, I'm telling you, you need to work with someone independently who's going to look at the case independently and tell you without, thinking about making money for their company, how to do this right and what the options are and how to keep you safe and how to keep the patient safe. But anyways, do not charge for the Invisalign consult. That's absurd. Now, if the patient's asking for one every few months, well, yeah, then you can charge after the first one. But you should already have one made up. So then you just pair it with a new scan. So again, once you have one, unless they randomly got like all different teeth, and things randomly changed. I mean, yeah, if you have an 8-year-old kid and now they're 10, it's going to be a very different plan from 8 to 10. So, but I wouldn't be charging for kids either. I mean, again, you can give one free consult a year or something like that. It depends on what your policy is. If it's getting absurd and you're constantly remaking new ones, well, then no, then after that, yeah, sure, you can charge. Normally when we do consults, we say that they're good for 60 days, and after that, the fees might change, and they're going to need a new scan and a new workup. And that's your choice after that if you want to charge for it. But you need to let the patient know at the beginning that this one will be free. If you don't proceed and you decide to do it later, there might be a charge, but you're probably going to lose that patient, because sometimes patients just aren't financially or emotionally ready to go through treatment. So, do we do that? No, generally not. But yeah, that's just my thought. It's absurd. Don't be charging for ortho consults, because it's not really costing you anything. So, and consults are information. Shoot, even if I go into like any specialty office, usually sometimes they're going to charge a fee, and then they're going to apply it to the treatment later. Some people will do that, but if this is one of your patients of record, that's pretty absurd. That's a great way to piss off patients. All right, thanks.